What's happening? What's happening? What's going on? What's going on? Hope everyone having a blessed evening. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy, I hope everyone's having a blessed evening. Hey, welcome to another edition of On the Cutting Room Floor. I'm your host, Tony Ray Harvey, and let's get right on into this mess. Oh, my God. Scott Perry, general manager of the Sacramento Kings. Doug Christie, head coach of the Sacramento Kings. Start playing them young players now. Start playing them now. Start developing them now. Because right now, that's the only pathway. Because what is going on right now is not working and is not going to work. Okay? I say all these things with respect, but I am going to say them. Okay? That is one of the most ridiculous performances I have ever seen. I know everybody is short. I know DeMontis is going to be out 3 to 4 weeks, maybe. Okay, there's only a reevaluation stage, with that meniscus. But that right there, come on now. Come on. The way I see it, oh yeah, by the way, the Sacramento Kings lost 137-99. Was it 137? 137-96, excuse me. 137-96. 137-96. Let's make sure of that. Yes, 137-96 to the Memphis Grizzlies, who were also shorthanded. 137-96. They didn't even bust 100 for the second straight night. They only scored 99 last night against a Oklahoma City Thunder game. But anyway, this is what I'm saying, okay? The game finished with a Nick Clifford, Precious Achua, Keon Ellis, Keegan Murray. Yes, he's back on the floor. And Maxine Reynard. Start them Saturday against the Denver Nuggets. Please start them. If you don't, at least give them enough time to put them out there on the floor, all right? Because this is the 8th straight loss, okay? The 4th straight on the road. They're on a 5-game road trip that ends in Denver on Saturday, November 22nd, okay? Kill this mess. Kill this mess, all right? I think I heard Kyle Draper on the broadcasting team for NBC Sports Bay Area tonight say Doug Christie have to go back to the drawing board. And when you go back to that, and if you go back to that drawing board, my brother, with your coaching staff, all right, put those 5 names up on the board, okay, and then you can write those 6 aspects, that bullet points that brother general manager Scott Perry been talking about ever since he took over this job at the end of April and hired Doug at the 1st of May. All of that, accountability, discipline, professional, okay, team-oriented, all right, defense. I forget the 6th one is, but all of that. If you're going to do that, start with those 5 names on the board that I just mentioned. That's just totally ridiculous. Okay, well, Sani Aldama. Well, you just go here. Because the King did, plunge. They fell all the way to the floor with this 137-96 loss at FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. They were in the Mid-South. Okay, they 8 straight loss. All right. Sani Aldama had 29 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 block shots for the Grizzlies, who were also on the losing streak, a 5-game losing streak. They improved to 5-11. But they had some other cat come off the bench, the Australian cat from St. Mary's, right down the road. Jock Landale, he had 21 points. He had 6 rebounds. Under 15 minutes off the bench. Off the bench. All right? And I don't care what anybody else say, because it came here first. All right? These scouts already know where this stuff is coming from. They know this team back and forth. They live at Golden One Center. They live with this team on the road. All right? Those big guys, And I'm talking about 3-and-D cats all over the place from Memphis. G.G. Jackson, who didn't, I don't even think he played last season, got into the action and stuff like that. They came in there and they did their thing on the offensive and defensive end. On the offensive and defense, as well as this Jock Landale. I keep saying Landale. I'm talking about the actor. Landale. But no, Jock Landale. Jock Landale, the Australian. Okay? 21 points, 6 rebounds off the bench. Cedric Coward, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. While Zach Edey, because he knew, he had 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. He got him off to a good start. Yes, he did. Because he knew he was the big man. He ain't had to deal with Domantas Sabonis tonight. I'm going to do what I did when I was playing in the Big Ten at Purdue. All right? And then, of course, our very own Jalen Wells, Sacramento / Folsom. Okay, he had 13 points, and Olivier-Maxence Prosper, the French Canadian, he had 11 points. So Jalen had 13 points, and Olivier, I just say it like that, he had 11 points. Vince Williams Jr. dished out 15 assists for Memphis. 15 helpers for Memphis. Oh my goodness. I'm going to tell you, man. Woo! Doug came out and he said some things last night that I thought about all day. I'm pretty sure it needs to be said, but I think it's a little bit too late right now to be trying to massage these guys' mentality. All right. At least these veterans. And I love these guys. I've been watching them their whole careers, especially, DeMar when he played in Chicago, and definitely Zach LaVine when he played in Chicago, because I watch a lot of Bulls games when available, when convenient, to tell you the truth, with my schedule and stuff like that. So I watch a lot of every Kings game, and I watch the Bulls game as much as I can in between. All right. So I'm loving what these cats doing. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Russell Westbrook is not the problem here. He's been showing nothing but leadership. That's all I'm going to talk about. Okay. He's the man. Matter of fact, he should continue playing. Play with these young cats. Lead them. All right. But all this other stuff that's going on right now, it's not happening. It's not happening. Because you're supposed to play to your strength, but you're not doing that. You have none. You absolutely have nothing going on out there right now. Okay. Nothing going on as far as rebounding. Nothing going on as far as defense. And nothing's going on behind that 3-point arc for sure. All right. You're not even getting those shots up. There's just nothing going on, period. There's nothing going on in the first quarter. Matter of fact, Memphis scored 35 points in the first quarter and 40 points in the second quarter. The game was over. Warm up the bus. Man. I don't even know if I don't do these. I come in, I try to, provide my commentary, and then it's time to move on, to the next game and stuff like that. But just to see, last night they said it was the worst start since the 1991 season. Okay, I had to go back and research that up because I do remember that season. All right, the Kings only won 1 out of 41 road games. They were 1 for 40 on the road that year. They won 24 games at home at Arco, 24-17. So the 24 that you had, you had at home, but then the only road win that you have, you got 25 wins. All right. They started off 1-13 that season. Something went on. Wayman Tisdale, may he rest in peace. Broken leg or something like that, so he didn't start the season. All right. And I remember that. I want to say that was probably Dick Motta's second season, and those players didn't like him, from my understanding. Okay. Because matter of fact, Dick Motta was long retired from the NBA. Remember, he had some really good years coaching the Dallas Mavericks through the 1980s. I think he was their first coach when they entered as an expansion team back in 1980, when they drafted Mark Aguirre as their first pick. All right. He was fishing in Idaho somewhere where they when the Kings went and got him and brought him back, brought him to town to the Central Valley and stuff. Okay, and then matter of fact, they only won one of 40 games on the road, but they had that was the team that had the longest losing road streak in the association history, to be a fact. All right. Not saying I don't know where this team is going. This team is 3-13, 3-14, I believe, right now. Okay. The current team, I don't know. You think they're gonna win this game in Denver? I don't. I don't even. I heard it on. Oh man, I heard it on the radio show. With Kevin Gleason and Kayla and Jay Johnson, my guys, and the female, okay, the lady there. Somebody called in and said, I don't care about wins and losses anymore. Okay. That's how these people feel around here, but these Sacramento fans are going to stick with their team. No problem about that. In this 5-county region, that ain't gonna, but they, I shouldn't say, you should never get used to losing, but they are. They done been through it this much, this far, but yeah. The Kings played the Memphis Grizzlies for the third time on November 24th at Golden One Center. That'll be the third time with them. I think it's the third time they're coming up on Denver on Saturday. All right. Boy. That's just really my thoughts of the whole thing. If it was me, I would just go ahead and start them youngins, and get this development process on the road because, Keegan is back now. Let's see what he can do, work himself back in shape and work with this young group that they have going on, okay? And bring Dylan Cardwell back on up too, get as much as games you can get out of him. I know you can't running past 50 games because then you would have to issue him a standard contract. Got that, but still let him get a run too, Plowden, bring them on up here. Isaiah Stevens, all of them. Let us check out, see what all of them got. Okay? From the Stockton Kings, those two-way players that I'm talking about. All right? Bring them on up here too. See what they got. Because this ain't going to win you no ball game the way this is going. Okay? And I know it's just too many guards, too many of this, too many of that. We know that. Okay? Going into this season. Okay? I have mentioned it too. It seems like it's a build in, build out. Okay, well, build out. Build out of this. Okay. Whatever was on the drawing board tonight, erase that and put them 5 names up there I just mentioned as far as start. Or definitely giving them playing time. I like to see them to get about 28, 30 minutes a night. I know the trading block doesn't open up to December 15th, and it carries on until February 15th. Okay, still got time for that. About 3 weeks? 3 weeks to get it together? Okay, all right. And bless them brothers who came in here that you brought in here, and tried to make this work. Okay, bless them. Bless them, okay? Bless them. Because they are truly professionals too, but this is just not going to work. All right, now is the time. If it had to get so bad, now is the time to do this because this is bad. This is horrible. This is embarrassing. Wow, it is. Okay, Zach Levine, he had 26 points for the Kings, who fall to 3-14, and they have lost 8 straight. Keegan Murray, he had 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist in under 33 minutes. He made 5 of 13 shots from the floor, 1 of 6 behind the arc. He did not go to the foul line tonight. Okay. Oh boy. Let me go over some other numbers that I was looking at through the game. don't normally short these out because Memphis, their biggest lead was 48. Okay, the Kings only led by 1 point the whole time. I don't know why I'm bringing that up. Okay, of course the Kings were out rebounded 49-33. The Grizzlies, they had 42 assists. They had 25 assists in the first half. The Kings had 24 assists. The Grizzlies had 11 steals to the Kings 5. Okay, the blocks, we ain't talking about that. The Kings had 16 turnovers. I think they had I want to say 11 in the first half. That was pretty bad too. They only shot 46.3% from the field. The Grizzlies shot 50.5% from the floor. Okay. The Grizzlies shot 31.5% in three-point territory, but they made 17 of them. They fired off 54 of them, but they made 17 of them. That's how bad this game was. And still beat the Kings, shooting 31.5% behind the arc like that. Okay? Free throws, you ain't even got to talk about that. All right? Once again, they got killed in the paint. The Kings gave up 56 points in the paint. They only had 40 themselves. Grizzly had 22 second chance points to the Kings 5. And the Grizzly had 18 fast break points to the Kings 8. That's the tail of the tape. That's the tail of the tape. Embarrassing. Flat out embarrassing. Oh my gosh, this recap. I mean, to summarize this game, folks, would be a waste of time, wouldn't it? But I'm here. I'm going to be here for all these games. I might miss a podcast here or something like that, but I got to go follow this through, okay? Because I want to see how this is going to end. You go to a bad movie and it's terrible and things like that, but you want to see how it ends, okay? All right? And believe me, I have got up and walked out on a couple movies, but there's some bad movies that I say, like, if I leave and don't see how this ends, this is going to be bugging me for a long time. And really, those bad movies are like horror movies or whatever, something like that. So, but anyway, this is like watching a bad horror movie right now. But I'm going to stay in there and watch it, see, how it ends, okay? See who's going to be the hero, what detective's going to solve the case, okay? So everybody can live happily ever after or something like that, all right? No more. Stop this. Stop this crazy thing. Stop this crazy thing. Stop it. Stop it, okay? No more of this. No more of this, please. No more of this, okay? I'm asking you. All right? Stop this. You got a good group of core players who are ready to go, are ready to be developed, okay? And as much as it pains them, I know they're in pain because everybody that came, for the most part, so a lot of these guys came from winning programs, whether it's in high school, college, a few of them, in the NBA area, at least with the veterans and stuff, okay? It is a lot of pain. It is a lot of pain. And Doug did allude to that tonight, okay? Because it's going to get bad before it gets better. That's just simply how it is right now, okay? If this game was a little bit closer, a lot of these guys wouldn't even play, okay? I don't even think Keon Ellis would have got on the floor if it wasn't a blowout the way it was. He didn't get in till like the last 5 minutes of the second quarter anyway. And I already pegged him to be the odd man out with Keegan, coming back to his role, okay? And Keegan did come off the bench tonight, but understand he'll be starting pretty soon, okay? So, but that's the only reason why they got out there. So I don't want to hear about all that staggering minutes all over the place, stuff like that. The deal was if it had panned out the way it should have panned out for the Sacramento Kings, all right, somebody was going to be the odd man out, period. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen because of this, the makeup of this team. Play them young people, man. Play them youngsters, dude. Go on, get over that. Vivek, come on, man. Let this stuff go. I know you want bodies in them seats. You selling seats, It's easy for me to sit here and say this stuff. And it's always easy for the media to say anything like that. But I can tell you right now, and you can take it from the journalist, a real journalist and stuff, all right? It's not going to get any better than what it is. It's not. It's not. There's just too much evidence right now through 16 games. Too much. Too much. Now your big man is out. DeMontis is going to be out 3 to 4 weeks when they will reevaluate him. Thought it was knee soreness. It was something else going on with his knee, his meniscus. And that usually take about 3 weeks. When you have a meniscus injury and stuff like that. About the minimum 3 weeks from what I always hear. Okay. And understand there's injuries across the board in the association. Everybody dealing with them right now. But in this simple fact, okay, and it is a fact, at least in the Western Conference, you can play, but then now you got to dig yourself out of a large hole, to even get anywhere near 500. Anywhere near it. And it's too early for that. That Kings team won only 25 games back in 1991 when they started off bad. So this is either the or the second worst start for it is the second worst start for the Sacramento Kings in 35 years. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah. I could go on and summarize this game, but what for? I mean, shoot. The team was down about 48 points, right? They've been blown out for like 4 or 5 games in the last 7 or 8 games. I would say in the last 7 or 8 games, 4 to 5 of them have been blowouts. Wow. Man. Shoot. In the second quarter, I will say this. At the 7:34 mark, there was a shot clock violation that really tripped me out. And I'm like, no. And at this point, they had already turned the ball over 7 times. The Kings, that is. All right. Landale, I think somewhere after that, the Australian, Jock, J-O-C-K. He had like a 30-footer, a 32-foot triple. I'm like, oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. Boy. Russ got a technical foul at the 5:06 mark of the second quarter. But I'm going to tell you one thing. In that first half, it was about 4 or 5 alley-oops. And they were real easy. That's why they got, 54, 56 points in the paint. That's just how easy it was. They wasn't really dunks. It's just getting them, over the rim. The big man, lay it in or somehow. They was getting the ball in there and stuff like that. So, yeah. Woo! So, as far as, trying to synthesize their mentality right now, I think we're past all of that right now. I think we're really all past about that right now. Bless them. But develop these young players. Boom, that's where we at right now. And please the fans that way. I think they will be more acceptable to the development than sit back here trying to understand why all this losing these games are happening. And they shouldn't be. Okay? Mike Brown is going to have some success in New York. Okay? Harrison Barnes and De'Aaron Fox, they look at peace. They look happy down there in San Antonio. All right? Even Kevin Huerter out here with the Bulls. And the Bulls are winning. Okay? They're in playoff position. No, it's still early in the season, and it's the East Coast and stuff like that. But these guys they're where they want to be right now. Because, man, when they talk about basketball, you're talking about the Sacramento Kings. This is getting totally out of hand. Play them young folks. Start developing. All right? Boston do it. Boston had to do it. They won a championship not too long ago. Okay, the Warriors did it years ago. Okay, when they drafted Stephen Curry. Okay, and then they drafted Draymond. All right, and Klay Thompson. You know, they got a couple free agents. You know, got them over the hump. Now they sitting on 4 championships. Everybody, Oklahoma City, everybody at some point had to do it. Why can't the Kings do that? All right. I don't want to get too far on this. I really be trying to keep these summaries down up under 20 minutes, but you know, these losses kind of like, you know, keep ticking it up. But I'm gonna cut it down though. I am gonna cut it down though. But we'll see what happens. Said before, the Kings will play the Denver Nuggets on Saturday, November 22nd. That'll be their last game. 5th game, final game on the road of this 5-game road trip before they return home. And they will play the they will play the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota Timberwolves on the 24th. Golden One Center. All right, that'll be their next 2 games. I will be back after Saturday to see what happens. Okay. And, you know, if these cats don't start, I'm not, you know, just give them some time, you know. Give them 5 players some time to see what they can do, you know, as far as energy, you know. Maybe those starts in the first quarter will be a lot better than what's happening right now. Because everything else is falling apart. I do want to thank you for stopping in for another episode of On the Cutting Room Floor. I'm the host, Tony Ray Harvey. You know, I'm podcasting, broadcasting here from the Green Haven Pocket area, Southwest Sacramento. Love this area. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you Saturday. Peace.